Hello everyone, this is AJ from GNS Accountancy. We are a CPA firm located here in Ontario, California. Most businesses that have applied for the PPP loan have received the funds, and it's a good time to talk about loan forgiveness. We have touched on this before in past presentations. However, this presentation we will go into a little bit more detail as the SBA has released new guidelines. Our main source is the SBA website, and in particular the Paycheck Protection Program on their site. So just a quick recap on what expenses are forgivable within that covered period of 8 weeks. We have payroll costs, with interest payments on business, mortgage, on real property or personal property, which is like equipment, that was incurred before February 15th, 2020. Payments on rent obligations, again on real property or personal property like your equipment leases. This has to have been incurred before February 15th, 2020. That date is the key date. Business utility payments are also forgivable. For example, on electricity, gas, water, transportation, for example, gas that goes in your vehicle, your business vehicle, telephone expenses or internet access, and the service should have began before February 15th, 2020. So most of us know that the 8-week period begins when you receive the funds. However, there is an alternative period that can be used. This alternative covered period can start on your next payroll cycle from the date that you receive the funds. For example, if you receive the loan on April 22nd and your next payroll cycle starts on April 26th, the borrower can elect to start the 8 weeks on April 26th. So your 8 weeks will run from April 26th. If you furloughed employees and you are still paying them because maybe you are partially or fully suspended due to a government order, the payroll costs that you incur for paying those employees will still be allowed for forgiveness. And those include salary, wages, commissions, bonuses, and hazard pay. So what can reduce the loan forgiveness amount? Well, a drop in full-time employees or a drop in salaries and wages. So let's cover the drop in full-time employees. Now just FYI, if you make an offer for an employee to come back to work and they refuse, which could be the case, the IRS is still providing the extra $600 per week through the Federal Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program, which now runs through to the end of July. Staying on unemployment may be more enticing for the employee. However, the refusal needs to be in writing, and the employer must inform the State Unemployment Insurance Office within 30 days of the rejection. In this situation, the loan forgiveness amount will not be reduced for those employees that have refused to come back to work. The total loan forgiveness is reduced by the percentage reduction in full-time employees, FTEs, which actually stands for full-time equivalents, which is the terminology used to calculate the full-time employees. It takes into consideration part-timers too within the calculation. So you are comparing the reduction in your full-time employees within that covered period to one of 3 reference periods. The first choice is February 15th, 2019 to June 30th, 2019, or you can select 1st of January 2020 to February 29th, 2020, or you can select any 12-week period between May 1st, 2019 and September 15th, 2019. So you're comparing your reduction in full-time employees in your covered period to any one of these 3 that you want to select. So what if you have a drop in salaries or wages? 25% reduction is allowed without being penalized. The amount by which the reduction is greater than the 25% reduces the loan forgiveness amount. For example, let's say you pay employee A $1,000 a week and then you reduce their salary to $700 a week. That's a greater than 25% reduction. 25% of the original salary, $1,000 a week, is $250. So you've reduced the salary by $300 and so the excess reduction is $50. This excess reduction is then multiplied by 8 weeks, which is your covered period, and which is $400. And the reference period that you'll be using to compare that reduction will be from the 1st of January 2020 to March 31st, 2020. That's the period that the salaries will be compared to see if you have reduced your wages or salaries. So wages of employees who are counted for the full-time equivalent reduction are not included in this calculation. So whatever the percentage reduction is in full-time employees, that is the reduction in the loan forgiveness amount. So the wages of those full-time employees that have been eliminated will not be counted in this calculation, so you will not be penalized twice. And there are a couple of safe harbors also. If the reduction in full-time employees and your wage reduction is fixed or cured by June 30th, 2020, your loan forgiveness amount will not be reduced. And this is looking at the wage and full-time employee reductions between the dates of February 15th, 2020 to April 26, 2020. So those reductions you did within those periods, if you can fix those, so you bring the full-time employees back up and you bring your wages that you've reduced in that period back up by June 30th, 2020, your loan forgiveness amount will not be reduced. Also, the loan forgiveness amount is not reduced for the employees that you fire for just cause. So if there's just cause in firing an employee and you've given, for example, your 2 written warnings, or they voluntarily resign, or they voluntarily reduce their schedule, your loan forgiveness amount will not be reduced. Again, my name is AJ, and I thank you for listening to me. If you have any questions or comments, please email me. I look forward to hearing from you.